happy camper for Fregler. Okay, so if your politics is based on hating someone else, that's the wrong politics to be in, okay? It seems to be here in Port Townsend, and like, I heard in a speech the other day, we won't name who because we won't trigger you right away, but there's a radical right and a radical left, okay? You in Port Townsend lump anybody who has a different opinion as you in the radical right. I'm not in the radical right. I'm certainly not in the radical left. I don't have a political party. You guys base everything on politics, rabid all the time. And your politics justifies you to be mean to people in the gay community. You know, as gay people, what the oppression that we're under. You know that what we've went through. And you still want to attack us because we're not you. And then you want to say we're loving and we're supportive, but you're not. You want to say you're diverse, but you're not. Your diversity and inclusion only includes you. Only includes the hive mind, the same political view. Okay? You don't include gays and lesbians that don't agree with you. To you, everything is right or left and red or blue. I don't think in terms of that. I think in terms of kindness and humanity. Like, the YMCA locker room, easy. It would have been so easy to be kind to both of those folks, of which, oddly enough, before the press conference, I had many conversations with the YMCA employee and none with Julie. So you guys don't know the facts. You just gather a bunch of misinformation and you use it to hate people. And it's stunning to me. We fought for equal rights. And in 2015, we got equal right to marry who we love. Wow. And so now you guys are taking those equal rights and using them to oppress others and smiling about it. It's gleeful joy. At the YMCA, the folks protesting Julie Taman, and at the press conference, they were hugging each other. They were happy. They were loving to each other. To them, it was a big love fest, right? Women got hurt. Women were bloody and traumatized. I had PTSD after. I have long-term PTSD after. And they come online and threaten they'd do worse next time. The things they said in our faces, they're flipping us off and threatening and yelling us and putting pride flags, just breaks your heart, right? I didn't fight for the equal rights for y'all to do that. It's just sick. And when you look at all the public records, you see it was based on the lies and misinterpretation and hearsay of the YMCA manager, the YMCA CEO, and Libby Winstrom, a councilwoman. Rabid lies spread really fast among the community. And then the city manager completely prejudiced one side, took one side of the issue and ran with it with no investigation or facts. And so did Faber, Mayor Faber. It was all emotional. It was all, well, which side do I like? Who are my friends, right? These guys are not fit to lead. They're groupies, right? This is who I like. Okay, great, like them. But don't be a leader in some position that's allegedly bipartisan that you're going to be affecting people's lives and mental health and safety. You guys that are like, it's only those of my party and I'm rabid, and you spread lies so freaking fast. You don't look into the actual truth. You just look at your leader. Whoever's the head of the Democratic Party or whoever's been the gayest longest or is in charge of the gay groups, they know what's best. Well, they don't. Okay, they're lying to you. They're on party lines, and after the press conference, I blacked out. I couldn't go to the store for weeks. Thank goodness I went back 2 weeks later and spoke, because what that did is that gave me the courage to be able to go to the frickin' grocery store. Because before that, I couldn't go to the grocery store. And even after, I filmed it. So that first week, I would live stream when I went to the grocery store. I was just scared to death. I would run into people and they'd give me dirty looks. I'd see people at the parks. I'd see people, these are threatening, harassing, horrible, evil people. Instead of promoting some trans person that they like, saying, oh my gosh, they love being trans and here's how wonderful their art is and their life and who they are, they put their money and time and energy into art that has knives and guns depicted at women like me, who they call TERFs, who I'd even look it up. I didn't even know what it was until that night. So they label us the other, and then they persecute us for labels that they give us. And so anyway, I was scared. I was really scared. So I reached out for some mental health counseling, and I went to the Discovery Behavioral Health. and they're absolutely partisan. I had a panic attack there 3 times where I could hardly even breathe, almost had to go to the emergency room because the bunch of people that worked there were I recognized in the crowd, right? So I'm going there for mental health, but they were in the crowd that caused my mental health issue. And then the mental health counselor, I was telling her about it, and she said, well, yeah, but that's the conservatives. And I said, no, the crowd that did it to me was liberals. And I was like, that's got nothing to do with it. I mean, how sick of a mental health counselor to bring politics into it. I never went back. I got a counselor that was out of the area, even out of the state, but licensed in Washington because I don't want to talk politics, I mean, talk about my mother, talk about my childhood, talk about trauma, talk about real psychological concerns and issues and not just whose party's who and who we like better. But that's how it is. Port Townsend schools, nonprofits, the government of every level. And no one's called them out on it. So they're the hive mind. They get a bunch of grant money and they do what they want, the ugly art. They decide amongst themselves what's best. Libby Winstrom even said in one of her things that the whole town was on their side of it. Bullshit. Just their groupies were. They completely ignored the liberals and conservatives that weren't on the side of bashing an old lady in town and giving her some integrity, giving both sides in the locker room an equal voice and finding long-term solutions. What these guys did was wrong and rabid. They incited violence on a whole bunch of people in the community and tourists and visitors who flew into an event, wouldn't have been okay at any other event, based on the misinformation of a few people and no facts and no investigation. And so if your politics is about hating different groups of people, then, that's not a good thing. And they lie to you when they tell you that's what Trump's about. Trump's about sovereignty, no wars, no corruption, okay? Not about right or left. He said in his last speech he's not going to represent half the country, okay? He disavowed that Project 25 and far right and far left he talked about, but y'all don't listen or read anything. You haven't looked at his Agenda 47 or whatever. You haven't looked at his motto. You just go with your favorite politician, you post it on your website, you get all rabid and crazy, and that turns into real world violence from the allegedly peaceful people. Okay, I'm a lesbian witch, I'm alternative, I'm the evangelistic Christians, the Christians around here in Port Townsend, they don't like me. My pentacles, my stuff, they don't approve of me, they don't like me. But they don't attack me in the streets. You all do. You guys that are pagan and alternative and supposed to be the cool people and the gay and lesbian supporters and the open-minded people, you're the ones that attacked me. And you did it even before that night. You don't like me for whatever reason. Whatever. I mean, I don't care. I don't need you to like me. The point is that to examine where you're getting your information on why you don't like people so much that you want to incite hate against them but based on a bunch of misinformation and hearsay. Okay. So if you're a conservative or a liberal and, I don't play that game. On this side or that side. No, I'm a free thinker. I like some of the issues over here. I like some of the issues over here. I believe that. I don't believe that. I've studied and researched that. I haven't studied and researched that. Like independent thinker. Not, is it red? Is it blue? I mean, that's a sickness. That's a deranged sickness on the right and the left. Okay, and evangelistic Christians is not what Trump's about, okay? Yeah, they're under that umbrella of conservative, but, they attack me constantly. The far right attacks me, and all of the left attacks me. So, and what I mean by attack is not in the streets, not what Port Townsend did, whereas, to go after me in the court, to try to jail me, to try to beat me up, to try to silence me, to threaten they're going to do worse next time, to get the prosecutors and the judges and the cops at me, to have that kind of power. I don't mean that. They don't do any of that. What I mean by attack is they'll be like, oh, you're a pastor. Women can't be a pastor. Oh, pagan. Oh, you're a devil. Oh, they bash me for gay. They bash me for my spiritual belief. They bash me for being a witch. And that's the far right. But the Trump's people don't do that. Trump people are like, hey, we got pagans, we got trans, we got gays, we got everybody. We're just about independent and live and let live. But you guys are party line. So I encourage you to stop and think. If you're in the party that says we're about diversity, where's the diversity? Where's the diversity? You don't have diversity in thought. You just don't have diversity. You lie about, like the panic over the Proud Boys, right? I met 2 gay men married each other, the Proud Boys. There's black people there that day with the Proud Boys. They're not racist. But there's only a few of them there. It was Washington 3%, which is, got all the whole rainbow is in Washington 3%. When you look up 3%, it's part of the constitutional stuff. It's not hating gays. And I've seen pictures online with these huge events with tons of gay Proud Boys. I mean, you guys you whip everybody up based on a lie, and you're the violent ones. You're so deranged and delusional, you can't see that you are the one doing the oppressing. You are the one that's shutting down the speech of women you don't like, whether they're liberals or conservatives, gay, straight, fat, thin, old, young. Well, the ones that are oppressing us. Okay? You say you love everybody. We love everybody, but we just don't like the people in the... Well, Julie Jamal was a lifetime liberal. So was Amy. So was the women that came in to speak from around the Pacific Northwest. You bashed them, yelled at them, you called them the violence inciting word TERF. You wore hats with guns and shirts with knives, and we weren't. We dressed respectfully, and we talked respectfully, and we didn't say anything negative. And you screamed at us and bullied us and yelled at us. And if we'd have did one of those things at a Pride event, we'd have been arrested. Okay, we had big, strong men knocking us to the ground. It hurt, man. It hurt. One gal's ankle, it tore so bad that, and she's like in her 70s, and that Bjorn knocked her to the ground. He also knocked Rachel Burt, and Libby Winstrom's like, oh, that didn't happen, and oh, that's so funny. She said that they sabotaged the equipment. Would it have been funny if it would have been Wooden Boat or Pride or any of the events that you do respect the people in? And then they're like, let's pay a bunch of money and get tourists to come here. Well, what? The tourists aren't in your hive mind, okay? Some people call it woke. Some people call it the liberals and the this. And I call it, oh my fucking God, right? Where is your human decency? I don't care if you wear a little red badge or a little blue badge. Some people are human to you and matter, and some don't? Ew! That's gross. And you dare to call that the Pride community, where my best friend was beat so fucking bad her jaw was wired. Okay, I've got my whole life. You got a dick in there. You a man. You want to fight like a man. Just because I present masculine, I'm still a woman. I have the strength of a woman. I had a bestie in high school that beat me up in a bar, and a guy beat me up into the gravel outside of a bar because he didn't like something about me, right? Because you pee standing up, you shouldn't be in that bathroom. I was chased down in an airport in Dublin, Ireland by security because I was going in the wrong bathroom for them. I get it, okay? We didn't fight for equality and to not be oppressed for you to do it to other people. Okay? Now you've turned it around and you're the radical right. Now you're the Salem witch burners. Now you're the evangelistic Christians that are like, gay is a sin and you should die for your sins. You're them now. Okay? So don't give me your lectures and your t-shirts and your stupid fucking signs about radical diversity. Woo, we're so diverse. We're so happy. We're so love. We're so neat here. Bullshit. Call in bullshit on that one, okay? Why don't you walk your talk? Psycho. Oh my goodness. What is wrong up here? Stop following the hive mind and think for yourself. I don't care if you hate me, okay? I don't care. But others that you're driving to suicide with your rhetoric is what was happening to us as tomboys, as butch lesbians, as men who loved men and women who loved women. That's what happened to us. And we got equality in 2015. And now look what you have done. What have you done? Please stop. And if you can't stop, please stop calling it pride or love and support. Please stop calling it diversity and inclusion. Please stop calling it human rights and call it what it is, okay? Call it what it is.